it.
Welcome to another episode of Business
Business.
Bros. And with the other thing too. So learning all these things. All right. So check it out. Today's a first for us. Zoom and Facebook, for whatever reason, do not want to go live with each other. So I just hit the live button on YouTube. This is a brand new thing for us. YouTube. We got a little over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, so not as many as the 7,000 plus on Facebook. But here we go. We're gonna give it a shot anyways, and then when we're done recording this, I will post it on Facebook too. All right.
Yeah.
Anyways, Hernan Cias here, host of the Business Bros podcast, where we're helping you create wealth today and generational wealth tomorrow, along with my co-host,
the insurance bro, James Cias, with Pipeline Insurance, where we empower licensed professionals to effectively add insurance to their existing businesses.
Which is kind of like what I wanted to talk about today, right?
What? Wait, what are we going to talk about today?
Cash
Creating
flow.
wealth today.
And generational wealth for tomorrow. By effectively adding insurance into your business.
What?
Look, most of the people who listen to our show anyways are in the real estate space. And
right.
Everybody wants to stay super huge and positive with everything going on, but let's face the facts. There's a lot of people who are losing their jobs. There's going to be, it looks like anyways, a moratorium on being able to evict a tenant. In other words, if the person can't pay their rent, mainly because they probably are not working and don't have an income, they're not going to be able to pay their rent. A landlord won't be able to get them out either. But if a landlord is not collecting rent on a particular property, they can't pay their mortgage on that particular property. And so this is going to be a very much spiral effect on things that are going on. And so rather than looking at this as a negative light, we need to look at this in, there's opportunity being presented here. How can you line yourself up as a business owner, as an individual, as a real estate agent, as an insurance person? How can you start to develop new skills or change what it is that you're doing so that you can better be prepared for the impending change? It's better to see that there's a problem coming up and face it head on than to put your head in the sand and kind of hope everything passes and you'll be okay. Right. And so that's what's going on here. And one of the things that even us in the insurance industry, like let's just say it for what it is. One of the first things people stop paying when the bills come up is their insurance policies. There's no immediate pain point when you stop paying your insurance policy. Is it a risk? Yeah, you're taking a risk, but you're choosing between buying groceries or something that may or may not happen. And so a lot of times in the insurance businesses, in the insurance industry, people are going to stop paying their premiums. There are a lot of companies that are out there that are in the restaurant business, for example, right, that are being closed up and they're laying off employees, and we're dependent on a lot of these premiums. But there are a lot of companies who are not closing up, who are on the verge of thriving, who are in a position where they're going to take advantage of this situation. And when I say take advantage, I don't want to say it in a negative way. I'm just saying that things are going their route. Grocery stores, for example, are selling out their inventory like crazy. Those are huge, massive profit margins for these places. I know I heard from a source that Costco is looking to hire. There's so much going on in these places that some of these places are going to increase sales and things are going to get better for that particular industry. So in the insurance game, the way a lot of that works is when we're talking about the property and casualty side, we get paid when we sell a policy. So if you buy insurance, you get paid a commission, and every time that policy renews, every time that policy starts over, then the insurance agent gets paid again. It's a way to build a book of business that's residual. And even though we're going to have some losses on some of our residual policies because of this shift, there's going to be a good bulk of our business that continues to pay their policies because they're benefiting in this time of change. Money doesn't disappear. It just changes hands, right? It just changes where it's going. And so having an insurance book of business is a nice income stream to have in times like this. Money is still going to come in for the most part. Will it take a hit? It'll take a hit, but it's better to take a hit than to have nothing come in at all, right? And this is where for us, it's been a big point for us to get other people in other industries to become dual licensed so that you can become an insurance agent yourself, so that you can build a secondary revenue stream, so that you can, when one revenue stream dries up, you have another one there to pick things up. And that's the thing about cash flow that's vitally important. Some of you only have that 1099 job, W-2 job. You don't have any other source of income. If you get let go of that, then what? You're only dependent on the one source. We need to think of income as multiple spokes on a wheel and have different opportunities here. And when things like the coronavirus happen, which that hopefully doesn't happen very often, but major life events happen, you should and you should have had contingencies in place. But it's nice to have multiple income streams so you can say, okay, this one's drying up, this one's drying up. I need to focus my attention on this one, right? So
absolutely.
Tell me a little bit about the insurance program we have over at Pipeline, Ham.
Well, what do you want to know? Ask me some questions, more specific.
I want to know about, like, for example, if I'm a mortgage professional, right, and I'm going through a huge influx of mortgages right now that need to be refinanced, what's one way that I can take advantage of starting to develop another income stream?
Well, every single one of those refinancing loans that you're looking at is going to need insurance. And there's going to be a lot of instances where the insurance is coming up for renewal. And most of these loans that we see require that there's at least 3 months remaining. So there's going to be a lot of opportunities where the insured, or the borrower, I should say, is going to need to find a new policy, put a new policy in place, because theirs just doesn't have enough time currently. So whenever those opportunities do come up, those are the times when you can reach out to us, and all we really need is the borrower's name, date of birth, and contact information. And if that's all we get, we can run with that and generate a new indication from there. Figure out what the going rate is for that address, for that property, for someone in that age range. And what you talk about, the way that you explain it, is if you are not currently licensed, that's all right. We're going to put that money aside. We're going to hang on to it. We're going to send you a commission check or a commission statement of what you could have earned on that policy. And, we turn around and pay you that once you actually get the license.
Yeah, so it's super awesome, the program that we've put together, because it allows you to do something you normally wouldn't be able to do. Right now, you guys are in a situation, we're actually in a weird situation. If you are trying to get your real estate license right now, you can't. The Department of Real Estate is closing down because of what's going on with the coronavirus. If you're trying to get if you're trying to get your insurance license right now, you can't, because the Department of Insurance is closing down. So I can't offer you the program that we have normally. However, with the way we've developed this program is, if you start sending us the business now, we're going to keep track of all of that. And once this all blows over, we're going to have a commission statement of everything that you've brought over to the business. And then as you get licensed, we give you to the end of the year to get licensed before we can pay you all those commissions out. And then now you've built a business in an opportunistic time. Right now is the time where you're getting inundated with new potential clients that need help. So you're going to make the revenue right now off of the loans, but don't wait until something happens and you can't close loans anymore to have a secondary source of income. Right now is a time to take advantage of opportunities like we have here, so that you can start building a secondary revenue source, so that when the market shifts, because it will, right? When the peak falls and you start to see things like people aren't qualifying to buy as much, and it becomes difficult to find mortgage deals as interest rates start to trickle back up, you're going to wish you had something in place. This is your opportunity. So how easy is it to send us business? It's super easy. businessbros.biz/homeowner. That's where you go. You just fill out the information. We'll take care of the rest for you. And we're going to ensure that we close these deals as fast as possible. Usually we have about, for a homeowner's policy, what do you think our turnaround time is going to be, Ham, if we get the information we need?
For an indication, just a price indication, we can usually get it out same day, as long as we have at least a couple of hours or so to work. And for the full like binding and everything, well, it depends really on the lender. A lot of times the lenders just want the indication right up front. They just want to know how much is it going to cost. And it's still, a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks out from closing. And once that closing date gets closer, then that's when they actually want to issue the policy. So once they request that issue, again, same thing, give us at least a couple of hours, but same day.
So again, this is one of those things where it's the opportunity is presenting itself, and you need to capitalize on what's going on. I was on a live call earlier today, and I was talking to Humberto with American Profit Consulting, and we were talking about the ability for people to go out and get loans right now, and it's tough for people to get loans right now, especially if you're industries that are being forced to close down, mainly because you waited until that moment when you needed it the most. You've been told over and over again to plan ahead and to make sure that you can have the funding available, even though you don't need it right now. Have the funding available so that when you do need it, it's there for you. And of course, we procrastinate. And then when the time does come where we need that help, now we're trying to push fast forward, and it's an emergency to you, but it's not an emergency to the bank. The bank's actually saying, whoa, hold up. There's a lot of people here in line. We're not necessarily funding everybody. And you're scrambling to get all the documents together, all that stuff, right? Don't put yourself in that position. If you're in the mortgage industry and right now you feel comfortable because business is coming in, it's not always going to be like that. You live in a feast and famine type business. You're usually only as good as the last thing you killed, right? The last sale you made is the only amount of income that you have until you make your next sale. You have to have a backup plan in place. This is one of those opportunities, and we're here to partner with you guys to help you. This is also a time where your clients are going to want as much information as possible. They have time on their hands to consume additional information. And so as you guys see, we post stuff every single day, multiple times a day. You've seen us. Hey, Ness, you've seen us. We've established a brand there. You know that we're going to have constant contact with a lot of people. Well, we do the same thing with our clients. When we meet with a client now, absolutely more than any time before, we're setting up video conferences with them to go over their specific coverages, so they know exactly what they're getting. They know exactly what their coverage is going to entail. They know it's part of their impound account. We're enriching that relationship with the client on your behalf. So we want to make sure that you guys have a good team around you. Not just that. Look, we're a small business ourselves. I mean, we have our agencies maybe like 50-something agents strong, and it's not the biggest organization in the world. So we're asking, on top of being able to provide a quality service, we're asking you as the small business owner to go small business with us too. You know what I mean? It works both ways. Let us help nurture the relationships with the clients for you. And at the same time, I'm not saying that the big insurance companies are not a place to go. You can go there too. It's just, if you stick, they're going to survive this. The smaller companies are going to have more of a struggle. And we want to try to, just like we're encouraging you guys to go out and eat and buy small business out there, shop small business. We're in this together. And, we're hoping that by us providing value on a regular basis, by us providing value to you as your business, and us providing value to the clients, that it's enough reason for you guys to want to come do business with us. So it's businessbros.biz/homeowners for all those and homeowner policies to help get that stuff squared away for your clients. Man,
that's it.
That's a lot of stuff.
I love it. But I mean, it's true. I mean, we're all here. We're all going through the same stuff, and we're just trying to make it like everybody else. I don't know about you, but I definitely have been going to the smaller shops as much as I can. We went to the deli market down the street. Just making stuff happen around the neighborhood as much as we can.
Yeah, and we have to, dude. Otherwise we're gonna have problems with you're gonna feel bad if a company shuts down that you liked, And it could have been the difference between you sending out, you know, I don't know, buying a couple different meals, or your friends and family also getting a couple different meals, and that place surviving and making payroll. You know what I mean? Like it's just the small little things. If those businesses disappeared, and here's the thing about those businesses disappearing, by the way, again, money doesn't disappear, it changes hands. So somebody's going to come in, and it could be a larger conglomerate that comes in and buys up these smaller businesses and puts those commercial spots out there. So, I mean, I have nothing against big business. I definitely don't. I like shopping at the Walmarts. It's my, you know, I'm cool. Some of you are Target people. That's cool too. But there's also there's something to be said about having the small business option, having that ability to, I like being able to go to my local little, like Vallartas or whatever, the small little companies that are close by my house, to be able to buy stuff. And I go there often on a regular basis. If we don't support them in these small times, right, in these times when the cash flow is dying out the most, then we're going to see those guys disappear. Right. And there's nothing wrong with us shopping on Amazon, but if Amazon takes over everything, then it's kind of tough for the small business owner. Right. So, and it works the same way with all your favorite establishments, the breweries out there. I mean, think about your favorite craft breweries that are out there, and all they do is serve alcohol. They're closed right now. Right. So maybe you reach out to them and have your beer ordered or delivered, right? You still can get your craft brewery stuff that you want from your favorite establishments, but maybe it has to be delivered. There's a lot of different ways that you can still maintain the what you want, your lifestyle that you want, and help to ensure that those places are there after this is all done, right?
Man, I didn't even think about that. All those breweries that are shutting down right now.
I mean, it's tough.
That's a real shame.
That's a damn shame, right? Shame. Even in your sobriety, it's a damn shame.
Even in my sobriety, it's a damn shame. I don't want these things to go out, man.
Because you have good times there.
When I do start drinking again.
We want them to be around, right?
That's
right.
We
want them to be around. So you know, and that's the biggest thing. Look, it's hard to ignore the fact that things are changing. It's hard to ignore the fact that people are going to be suffering. It's hard to ignore the fact that people are going to be losing their jobs. That and it's very difficult to ignore that. You can't ignore that. But you also want to stay positive in these times. If all you're going to dwell on is that negativity, you're going to bring all that negativity into your life. It's better to acknowledge the fact that these things exist and start to look at positive ways of doing things, different ways to have fun, different ways to create a brand for yourself, to put out more content in a positive sense. The last hour and a half after I finished up my interview with Humberto, I've spent on Instagram, and I'm literally going through every post, and rather than just scrolling, I'm commenting. Right? This is another little strategy that you guys can be doing to continue to establish your brand. There's so much content that's going on out there. I want people to be able to see mine, and I want them to be to also feel like they're being heard, and give them a voice, give them a conversation. You know, picking up the phone and talking to people is tough most of the time. Right now, people have been quarantined for 4 or 5 days. They're almost welcoming something different. Something to have a conversation with. So if your business is very much relationship oriented, pick up the phone, give them a call. You know what I mean? Talk to them, ask them how they're doing. People are willing to change those quarantine lives a little bit. They're getting stir crazy. So use things like social media, use things like the phone, use things, but not just in a one-way conversation, not just you scrolling through. Actually engage with people, and you're going to see how much of a difference it's going to make in your life. You're spreading that positivity going forward. It's going to come back to you later on. You might not have an immediate fiscal effect, but if you're focusing your attention on gratitude and on the good things that are happening out there, putting out positivity, I can guarantee you it's going to come back to you. Karma works that way. I strongly believe in karma, and I think it's a good thing for you guys to be posting and doing positive things. So, man, dude, that's the craziness of what's going on out there, dude. I mean, one of the coolest things that I've seen on social right now is parents at home trying to teach their kids, do homeschooling stuff. And some of them are doing a really good job, and some of them are stressed out, dude. Speaking of making changes. I've seen some funny posts too.
The ones that are like, next time you think of defunding education, think about how bad it is for you right now having to homeschool your kids.
I haven't seen that one. That's a good one. No, I seen another one that was like day one of homeschooling. My first thought: how do I transfer this kid out of my class?
Or what about day 3 homeschooling? Teacher fired for smoking weed on the job.
Yeah, I saw that one too. That was Courtney, huh? I think I saw Courtney though. That was funny though.
Maybe.
But yeah, dude. It's nuts, dude. But I mean, everything that's going on, I'm remembering a lot of stuff that Gary Vee says, and he's been putting stuff out because he's just got an arsenal of content, which is something that I need to be doing, sitting back and going through our stuff and just posting piece after piece after piece. I should be posting like 10 pieces a day on stuff that we have just to put our brand out there. But a lot of the things that he talks about are, let's be good to people. People need to be focusing on happiness. And this is one of those opportunities that you can be focusing on something that you have control over. You have control over your home life right now, whether you're single, whether you're married, whether you have a family with kids. Like, you have time right now to focus your attention on those things that you need to get done. If you're at home and you're working on like, I'm at home and I'm working on developing my course for podcasting, and that's taking up a huge chunk of my time. But there's also time that I get to play. Like, after this podcast, I'm going to be playing Mario Brothers with my son, right?
Nice.
Like, that's something that normally we don't always get to do. But it's time that I get to do that stuff now. Like, this is your time to focus your attention on those things that you need to fix. If it's a marriage that you're working on, now's either going to be the time where you make it or it breaks. Like, this is going to be one of those times where you're going to be stuck with this person, right? All day long, pretty much every day. So, go in with intent, go in with gratitude, go in with a positive mindset, and try to help all that you can. If you're at home, dude, Eric Gilman, right? He's part of my 5 a.m. club. He's been doing some fun stuff. He built a fort no-nap, right? He built a fort in his house, and right, he's learning to juggle. I saw him juggling online, right? And he's doing all kinds of stuff. Cool. Because he's not able to go out and talk to people because that's his livelihood. Normally, he sells Cutco Knives, right? By the way, if you guys want any Cutco Knives, you got to hit up Eric. He'll help you out, and he's a great guy. But he still needs to establish that connection and that relationship with people. So he's doing it the way he knows how, right? He's at home by himself, but he's using that time to continue to express himself, to be himself, to share what he is. Yep. So that's what we should be doing on our time, on our free time, right? Cash flow. Man, cash flow is going to be a struggle. These are the opportunities where you have the ability to start looking at different ways of doing things. But at the same time, life flows, right? So you need to make sure that your life is going in the right direction and focusing your attention on getting yourself in a good space. Quarantine sucks. It sucks more if you don't keep that mind of yours active. If you lock it up and put it away and try to just quarantine your own mind, you're going to go stir crazy, dude. Like, find something to put your attention on.
I'm enjoying honestly the quarantine a little bit. I mean, I still have the opportunity to go to the office if I want to. I haven't the past couple of days, not because of COVID, but because of rain. I don't ride in the rain as much as possible anyway. So it was supposed to rain today. It ended up being a beautiful sunny day, of course. Thank you, San Diego, for messing with my emotions. But just staying home and working on systems, man. Systems is what I love, and it's we've been doing a lot of really good work, just working remotely, watching each other's screens and talking about all the ways that we can continue to improve these systems and processes that we have in place, and it's going good, man.
Dude, it's going to be better once this is all over. And in the meantime, like I said, this is the productivity time. Like, we could easily piss this time away, but if you use it, imagine when we come out of this, like, you'll be full steam ahead, right? Yep. Versus trying to play catch up, because we're going to play catch up. We're all going to play catch up.
It's true.
we're all going to have to get back on our feet and rolling. And I mean, we can pretty much kiss Q1, or actually Q2. We could pretty much kiss Q2 goodbye, right? For the most part.
And I hope not. That's a lot
So
of time.
that's a lot of
That's a lot
time.
of time.
But that's probably the second quarter is probably what we're going to end up seeing the majority of our quarantine time. So use those of you who are letting the second quarter pass you by because you're quarantined are going to suffer compared to those who are using that second quarter time to prepare to work in their business, and I'm sorry, to work on their business so that they come out running start, dude. Again, cash flow, right? If you're prepared to open up the floodgates when the dam breaks, you should be good to go, right? What are you going to catch? Did you put together a giant net, or you just, or you just got one hook in your hand? Like, it's completely up to you what you have once the flood comes back of people going back to work and all these opportunities. So,
yep.
Time to prepare, man.
Time to prepare. What's next? It's I don't even know. I'm looking forward to it. I'm keeping the faith that it's not going to go past April.
Yeah, same here. But dude, we've been getting notices from the school district saying that they might be closing the schools for the rest of the semester to be prepared for online learning platforms. And so, I've been developing my course for podcasting, but at the same time, I'm like, oh man, looks like I'm gonna have to do a secondary course here for my entire class. And you know what though? Let's say I complete the entire course for my class online, and we go back to school. Well, guess what? Next year, I got my entire course planned online. Like, I don't have to worry about that sort of thing. You can be proactive. Imagine how much extra time I'm going to have when everything I have is already laid out for the entire year. Like, you're good to go. Use this time to your advantage.
Yep. I mean, what are the chances though? I mean, what's for you specifically having that course online? Is that going to benefit you? Are you going to use that in any other way?
Heck yeah. I mean, dude, think of the opportunities. Like, my mind goes and wanders in all kinds of different places, right?
Always.
Let's say, for example, I spend this next week putting together my class online, right? Now I have every other financial algebra teacher saying, hey, I need to put a course online. I'm like, it's cool. Let me create a login for your particular school or your particular course. And now we got all the information there. So you know what? I can maybe sell it to the school. I can maybe sell it to the teachers. I can maybe give it to them for free and use it as a exposure to create database of people going forward. Like, there's a lot of different opportunities that I can do just in that course alone. And even if I don't sell it at all, even if it's just for me, next year when I teach this course, I can easily say, okay, lesson 1, we had to do it this way. And now the entire lesson has been provided for them on video with handouts, all that stuff. And when they come into class, now I can focus my attention in class on maybe other concepts, right? Maybe I can work on helping them build their business because I have more time. Maybe we can dive deeper into clarification of whatever it is that topic's about because they've already seen the initial lesson at some point in the past. Or if I have to leave and I'm missing class, I'm like, it's okay. Here you go. Here's the lesson already done. You just can keep going with the substitute. Like, there's a lot of different ways that you can use it as far as teaching is concerned.
And substitute just a babysitter anyway.
Yeah, and not just that. There's a lot of adults that want to know this stuff. So maybe I sell the course to adults now that I have it all done online.
Hell yeah.
So there's a lot of different ways that you can use it. So
that's something that you were talking about doing last year anyway.
I was talking about doing it, and I have videos already created for a number of different sections. So now it's just time to fill in the blanks and be done with it. Set it up, set it and forget it.
Create more residual income.
That's the whole point, right? Cash flow. Make another income stream. Will it be a huge income stream? Probably not. But any little bit helps when you have zero coming in.
Right. When we come into situations like this.
Exactly. All right, dude. I think that's all we got for today.
I think that does it.
All right, ladies and gents. Peace. And we out.